All right, everyone, today we need to talk about something big. We finally got a real response from Dafuk about the entire Duchess debate. And this completely shifts how we should look at her power level in Skibidi Toilet. If you enjoy breakdowns like this, make sure to support the channel, because what was said here actually settles one of the most heated arguments in the community right now. So here's what went down. Some fans directly asked Boom whether Duchess could realistically take on multiple Prime Titans at once. A lot of people have been hyping her up ever since episode 79 because of her dramatic entrance, the royal aura, and how dominant she looked in certain moments. But Boom's reply, it wasn't what the overhypers wanted to hear. He basically questioned the idea that Duchess is some unstoppable force just because she had a cinematic introduction. He made it clear that looking intimidating and actually being top tier in a full-power Titan clash are two very different things. And then came the key point. Duchess cannot handle 3 Prime Titans simultaneously. That's huge. To emphasize it, he compared the scenario to G4 barely escaping a high-pressure fight. And G4 is far more battle-tested and experienced. If someone at that level struggled just to survive, why would Duchess magically dominate against even stronger pressure? That comparison alone says everything. Now let's properly analyze the matchups. Against UTCM, if she gets grabbed, it's practically game over. His raw physical strength is overwhelming. Duchess doesn't have the durability to tank sustained, crushing force from a prime condition UTCM. Against UTSM, speed becomes the issue. His mobility and aggressive blasts create constant pressure. Duchess doesn't have strong, ranged defense to consistently block soundwave barrages. Against UTVM, it gets even worse. Screen control, sword combat, close-range dominance. UTVM thrives in overwhelming offensive tempo. Duchess doesn't have a clear counter to that layered attack style. Boom even implied it would basically be film credits if she tried that scenario. That tells us something important about her actual role. Duchess is not designed as a frontline destroyer. She's situational. Her whip and claws drain energy. That's her true advantage. In episode 77, the Titan she defeated was already damaged and drained. She capitalized on that weakness. It wasn't pure overpowering strength. It was strategic exploitation. That's a major difference. Without that energy drain advantage, her offensive output drops significantly. So what does that make her? More of a control-type Titan, a Punisher, someone who excels when the opponent is already weakened. But in a straight-up, fresh Prime Titan duel, she struggles. Now let's talk about Jug. Physically, Jug is overwhelming. Even if her shield withstands a few charged hits, it won't last indefinitely. 3 or 4 heavy impacts at best before malfunction. And unless she drains him completely, which would be extremely difficult against someone that aggressive, she eventually gets overpowered. So what's the real takeaway here? Duchess is powerful. She's dangerous. She's strategic. But she is not God tier. The aura moment in episode 79 created hype. And hype turned into exaggeration. Boom's response basically grounded the conversation back into logic. Power scaling isn't about entrances. It's about sustained performance against top-tier opponents. And right now, based on what we know, Duchess sits below the absolute Prime Titans in raw combat scenarios. But that doesn't make her weak. It just makes her specialized. Now I'm curious, do you think Duchess is being underestimated because she hasn't shown her full potential yet? Or were fans overhyping her based on one dominant moment? Drop your thoughts below, because this debate is far from over.